Welcome to our podcast. Read others' minds, the science of understanding people. You ever had that feeling? Like someone's looking at you? And when you turn around, they actually are? Or when a friend insists they're fine, but something in their voice tells you otherwise? It's almost like magic, right? But what if I told you it's not magic at all? What if I told you that every single person you meet is constantly broadcasting their thoughts, their emotions, their real intentions without saying a single word? The way they blink, the way they tilt their head, the way their lips press together for just a fraction of a second before they answer you. It's all information. The problem is, most people don't know how to read it. Most people walk through life blind to the signals right in front of them, oblivious to the fact that with just a little knowledge, they could see straight through the words people say and into what they really mean. Imagine being able to walk into a room and instantly tell who's confident and who's faking it, who's interested in you and who's just being polite, who's telling the truth and who's holding something back. That's not science fiction. That's human nature. Right now, you might be thinking, so what? I just need to pay more attention? Look harder? No, it's not about looking harder. It's about knowing what to look for. Take the eyes, for example. People always say the eyes are the window to the soul, but that's only half the truth. The real secret is in the tiny, involuntary movements, the microexpressions that flash for a fraction of a second. Before someone regains control, a genuine smile, it reaches the eyes. A fake one? The mouth moves, but the eyes stay the same. You ever seen someone nod while saying no? That's their body betraying them. And then there's the voice. You can tell so much about a person just from how they say something, not just what they say. Ever notice how someone's voice tightens slightly when they're nervous? Or how they suddenly clear their throat before lying? That's not random. That's the body reacting to stress, trying to buy time, trying to compose itself. Now let's talk about posture. You ever see someone who walks into a room like they own it? Shoulders back, head high, every movement deliberate? That's someone who understands power. But the real trick isn't in just noticing confidence. It's in noticing the tiny moments when it cracks, the slight hesitation before stepping forward, the brief tightening of the lips before answering a question. A person's feet tell you more than you think, too. You're in a conversation with someone, and their upper body is facing you, but their feet are pointed toward the door. That's their subconscious screaming, "I want to leave." And speaking of leaving, let's talk about deception. You ever heard someone swear up and down that they're telling the truth, but something just doesn't sit right? That's because words can lie, but the body struggles to. People tend to overcompensate when they lie, adding unnecessary details to make their story sound more believable. Their breathing changes. Their blink rate speeds up or slows down unnaturally. But reading people isn't just about catching lies. It's about understanding them on a deeper level. You ever had someone tell you they're fine, but their voice is just a little too flat, their smile a little too forced? Most people ignore that instinct. Don't. That's the moment to lean in, to really listen. Because what they're saying isn't in their words, it's in everything else. And once you start paying attention, really paying attention, the world starts to look different. You start seeing the subtle shifts in body language that tell you when someone's engaged in a conversation or when they're just being polite. You start noticing when someone's energy changes, when their laughter is genuine or when it's just a cover. Imagine how this could change your relationships, your friendships, your business interactions. Imagine being able to sense when a client is hesitant before they even say a word, or knowing the exact moment a negotiation is about to turn in your favor. This isn't mind reading. It's just understanding the cues that most people overlook. It's about seeing the patterns, the consistencies, the cracks in the mask that people don't even realize they're wearing. So now the question is, what will you do with this knowledge? Walk into your next conversation with fresh eyes? Pay attention to the things you used to miss? Because once you start seeing these signs, you can't unsee them. The way people truly feel, what they truly mean, it's all right there. You just have to know how to look. And here's the thing. Once you start picking up on these signals, you begin to realize just how much of human interaction happens beneath the surface. Think about laughter. People assume laughter always means something is funny, but that's not true. Nervous laughter, forced laughter, laughter that lingers just a little too long. It all reveals something. A person might laugh at a joke, but if their shoulders are tense, if their exhale is sharp right afterward, if their fingers fidget as they do it, that laughter isn't about humor. It's about deflection, about filling space, about avoiding something unsaid, or take silence. People underestimate silence because they're too focused on words, but silence is loud in its own way. The difference between a comfortable silence and an uncomfortable one is everything. A pause before answering a question can mean hesitation, but what kind of hesitation? Is it because they're carefully choosing their words, or because they're buying time to construct a lie? The key is in the details. Do they glance away first? Do they inhale slightly before responding? And then there's mirroring. Have you ever noticed how, when two people truly connect, they start to mirror each other without even realizing it? One leans forward, the other does too. One crosses their arms, the other follows a few seconds later. This isn't conscious. This is the body syncing up, signaling trust, signaling understanding. If someone doesn't mirror you at all, if their body stays rigid while yours moves freely, there's distance, a barrier. Maybe they don't trust you yet. Maybe they don't want to. Even how people hold objects can reveal more than you'd think. A coffee cup gripped too tightly. A pen twirling between restless fingers. A phone picked up, put down, picked up again. The human body constantly seeks outlets for excess energy, and the way that energy is managed tells a story. Someone playing with their sleeve while speaking isn't just fidgeting, they're self-soothing. A person who constantly adjusts their watch might be impatient, might feel like time is slipping, might be looking for an escape. And let's not forget about space, the invisible lines people draw around themselves. You've seen it before, someone backing up. Just a little when a person stands too close, shifting their weight away from someone they dislike, turning their body slightly toward someone they're attracted to. People don't say, "I don't feel comfortable around this person," with words. They say it with distance, with angles, with micro movements that tell you everything if you know how to watch. Even the way people breathe changes depending on what they feel. A shallow breath before answering a difficult question. A sudden, deep inhale right before they confess something important. Watch closely. Listen. The breath is one of the few things we can't fully control in moments of emotion. It betrays us every time. Now imagine using this in everyday life. Not to manipulate, not to judge, but to understand. Imagine catching that tiny shift in someone's tone that means they're holding something back. The flicker in their eyes that means they want to say more but don't know how. Imagine recognizing in real time when someone is lying to themselves more than they're lying to you. Because the truth is, most people don't even know they're sending these signals. They don't realize that every hesitation, every shift, every unconscious movement is like a neon sign flashing their true feelings. They're walking around unaware that their body is speaking, louder than their words ever could. And once you see it, once you understand it, it changes everything. Conversations become layered with meaning you never noticed before. People become more transparent, more readable, more human. So the next time you talk to someone, don't just listen. Watch, observe. Not with judgment, but with curiosity. Because the most honest parts of a person aren't found in their words. They're found in the spaces between them. Thanks for your time. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and give it a thumbs up. Also, feel free to share your thoughts or any questions you have in the comments below.